All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Gifted Gamer 204 back at it again with another banger, man. And in today's video, we will be going over three particular topics. But before we go ahead and do that, if you are new and you do like what you see here, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit the like button, and thank y'all to those who have been doing so. I appreciate you very, very much. Now, quick update, right, on the channel, because I know we haven't been doing our daily live shows here on the channel. We will get back to that eventually. It's just right now, you know, Assassin's Creed Shadows live gameplay is taking pretty much all of my time, so I don't have, you know, the extra time to go ahead and do the live show as well, right? That's why I'm dropping these daily videos, right? It's just to try to keep up with the gaming news and things like that. But once we're done playing Assassin's Creed Shadows campaign, you know, we will make it back to our daily routine and, you know, covering the gaming news and things like that. All right. So I just wanted to give y'all a heads up because I know probably a lot of y'all are wondering what's going on, and that's what it is. Now, I do appreciate everybody who's been, you know, supporting me with the gameplay series of Assassin's Creed. We're having a tremendous time. So if you haven't pulled up on the stream and you have some free time, hopefully you get to do so, and we will be live streaming tonight as well. We getting into part 6 of Assassin's Creed Shadows. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with the first topic of today's video, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go. All right. Here we go. This is over at WCCF Tech. Okay. You see it here, right? All right. Let's get into it. PlayStation 5 Pro PSSR upscaler can now deliver better image quality than TAA. Support coming to Assassin's Creed Shadows in future patch. Let's get on with the article, people. The PlayStation 5 Pro AI-powered PSSR upscaler has made some nice progress lately, so much so that it now reportedly always delivers better image quality than TAA, temporal anti-aliasing. Speaking with Digital Foundry regarding the revamped version of the Anvil engine that powers Assassin's Creed Shadows, engine technical architects, Nicholas Lopez and Pierre Fortin, and project lead programmer rendering Sebastian Daignault commented on why the PlayStation 5 Pro version of the game currently doesn't support the PSSR upscaler, saying that at the time of shipping the game, they found better results with TAA. However, after an in-depth collaboration with Sony over the past few months, many issues have been addressed, especially regarding moving, vegetation, and water, issues that have been found in other games as well. As such, PSSR now always delivers better image quality than TAA, and support will be added in the future. Alongside PSSR support, the PlayStation 5 Pro version of Assassin's Creed Shadows will also get ray-traced reflections in balance mode, providing better visuals at a higher frame rate than quality mode. Keep that in mind, okay? This is very key right here, okay? Keep this right here in mind. Everything that I've been telling you in the previous, you know, all my live streams and all my videos in the past, keep this right here. Keep it in mind. So, while Assassin's Creed Shadows undoubtedly looks great on PlayStation 5 Pro, the game's visual truly shines on PC, especially on system configurations that can handle all the ray tracing features the game has to offer. Even without all the bells and whistles, the latest entry in the series is definitely worth playing for fans of the franchise's open world RPG approach, as I highlighted in my review. And that's it for this article right here, right? Keep in mind, right? The Pro's version of Assassin's Creed will also get ray tracing in balance mode, which we all know balance mode, like they say here, gives you a higher frame rate. Usually targets, you know, 40 frame rates. But, you know, speaking to a lot of people, including some of my supporters, right? they've been saying that balance mode doesn't even feel like 40 frames. They're telling me that it feels like if the game is running better than 40 frames. That's how good the gameplay feels in balance mode. So for them to give you, full ray tracing features on that particular mode instead of quality, where you're just getting the 30 frames, it speaks volumes, right? And I keep telling y'all, everything leads to Grand Theft Auto 6, okay? All roads lead to GTA 6. I keep on telling you that. Keep in mind, this is just another, example of what's to come. They are not going to implement balance mode, which is 40 frames. They're going to put in all the ray tracing features that you get in quality mode. Just think about that, right? Think about it. We still early in PSSR. We still haven't even gotten our, PSSR official update yet. That we should be getting, I believe is next month or in 2 months time. We should be getting the first official PSSR update, right? So just think about it when PSSR becomes 1 year old, which is in November. How far along we will be, right? This is something you got to pay attention to. This is just another example. GTA 6 is on the way. Here we have Assassin's Creed. They're about to implement a new update for the game, including PSSR, including getting the ray tracing features on balance mode, which gets you more frame rates. Right? We look into the future before we move on. I keep saying that. By the time when PlayStation 6 drops, I believe that quality mode, which is, full 4K upscaled with, with all the support of ray tracing features and things like that, is gonna be mixed in. It's gonna come at 60 frames per second, right? Or the balance mode, whichever one, right? We will be getting these ray tracing features playing at 60 frames by the time when PlayStation 6 comes out. That's where everything is leading up to right now. We all know about Project Amethyst. We all know what's going on in the lab with Mark Cerny and AMD. We know, right? So, those of y'all who don't have your Pro yet and you are willing to are looking to stay in the console space, you cannot tell me that there's no better option out there than to get a PS5 Pro. There's nothing better out there. The upscaler is gonna continue to get updated, and you don't even have to spend money outside of it. Once you get the Pro, that's it. They're gonna be sending the PS5 Pro the updates, and all you will have to do is update the system software. That's it. No extra money being spent on a higher GPU, more VRAM, none of that. It's just coming directly to your console, and that's it. So, incredible news and incredible, work done by the one and only Mark Cerny, ladies and gentlemen. So, staying on Assassin's Creed, right? We're gonna move on, right? We're gonna move on. We're coming over to Eurogamer.com, right? Because this is the in-depth interview that they did with Digital Foundry. I believe it was Alex that did it. Yeah, Alex Battaglia put together. I don't understand why Alex is all of a sudden in almost every single review. He's almost in every single review since that leak came out with the whole Discord. We're plotting against PlayStation. That he's even had to come out. They made Alex do an apology to Sony and PlayStation for misleading people and bringing out false misleading information. So whatever though, that's a story for another day. So this is the full in-depth interview that they did. I'm gonna leave this in the description below just in case y'all want to read it or whatever, right? But I'm trying to highlight this because this is where they asked him about the PSSR, right? And this is where he said it. So basically everything we said already, right? We read in the other article. However, the PSSR is a new upscaler. They asking them why they chose TAA over PSSR, right? In terms of PSSR, we analyzed PSSR and TAA at the time of shipping AC Shadows and found better results with our TAA solution. However, PSSR is a new upscaler, and after an in-depth collaboration with Sony over the past few months, many issues have been addressed, mostly around moving vegetation and water, problems that other titles have faced. We're now confident that the image quality with PSSR will always be better than with TAA. They said always. Okay? So now this is the if you know they had to choose like, oh, which one we're gonna go with? TAA, FSR, blah blah blah. If they wanted to choose TAA, that's no longer an option. Because they're gonna start implementing PSSR. They're saying that is always going to be better than TAA, right? And they also ask them why they limited the 30 frames per second to the cutscenes, which is one of my biggest issues of the game. Is those 30 frame cutscenes. I don't understand, but here it is. They asked them the question, right? There are several reasons at cutscenes. Right? At cutscenes are more contemplative. We believed increased resolution is more beneficial than increased frame rate. This allows us to activate costly GPU features no matter the performance mode selected, with hair strands and depth of field effects adding a lot of quality to cinematics and dialogues. We're also pushing shadow resolutions, quality, and dozens of other parameters. A stable 30 frames per second also provides more realistic cloth movement and ensures physics-based systems respond more deterministically and predictably for a more polished experience. Finally, frame generation could bring unwanted artifacts to cutscenes that would be less noticeable in gameplay. So we don't use frame generation here. So that's what they had to say about the whole 30 frames. Listen, to me, I don't care. This should not have been at 30 frames. It makes you not want to look at the cutscenes. It's like, it's cringe, bro. When you're looking at these cutscenes being at 30 frames, it's just, you could tell, right? That's another thing that you could just tell right away that it's at 30 frames. And it's not good to see. I would have preferred it be at a higher frame rate, and them, use frame generation and bring unwanted artifacts to cutscenes. I'd rather it be that than seeing this, more polished and realistically looking cutscene, but with 30 frames. The 30 frames for me is not cutting it, bro. It's not cutting it, and that's one of the major issues I have with the game. Is that. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I'm gonna leave this article in the description below, and just in case y'all want to read it, right? And just for a quick understanding, right? For those of y'all who don't know what TAA is, I brought it up for y'all right here, right? TAA, or temporal anti-aliasing, is a graphics technique that uses information from past frames to smooth out jagged edges. Aliasing in computer-generated images, often used in video games to improve visual quality. This is telling you everything that it does, the drawbacks, the benefits, how it works, alternatives. They also give you other ones that they usually use, right? TAA, this method uses information from previous frames to smooth out edges, providing good results with relatively low performance impact. TAA can be particularly effective at reducing shimmer in moving images. However, it can sometimes introduce a slight blur to the overall image. All right. So basically, it's just to boost up the image quality, right? As you can see here. All right, let's not go to this. Let me bring myself down a little so you can see it, right? Just so you can see it better. Okay. So, if we look here, you can see the difference from FXAA and TAA. You see what it does to the image? The one on the right is blurry. The one on the left, which is TAA, it sharpens the image. It makes it, you could definitely see everything more clear, right? Um, so that's just one example that I had here for y'all. Let me see if I can show you another one. This is another one here, right? This is another one. The one on the left is TAA, right? So these are the other examples that they have out there that developers usually use. So this is MSAA, right? This is TAA, and look at the difference. You see? It's a big difference, right? So let me see if I have another one. That one doesn't say anything. Okay. All right. So those are just some quick examples, right? So I'm just showing you this so you can see, right, that what the developer is saying. Basically, you see how nice and crisp this image on the left looks using TAA. Basically saying that PSSR is better than this. Okay? That's what this whole thing is about. PSSR inside a console, the PlayStation 5 Pro, developed by the one and only Mark Cerny. They're saying that PSSR is better than this image that you're seeing right here to your left. All right? That's all I'm going to say about that. So we're going to move on to the next topic. Unbelievable stuff happening over at PlayStation. Shout outs to Mark Cerny. My goodness. Unbelievable stuff, people. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section below. Holla at me, man. We gonna keep it moving, people. And we gonna stay with Assassin's Creed Shadows, people. Because we shipping over to VGC. And shout outs to VGC. So according to them, right, Assassin's Creed Shadows is the series' second biggest launch ever. So, moving down here, right? Check this out. Shadows launched on consoles and PC last week and surpassed 2 million players in 2 days, according to an Ubisoft announcement published over the weekend, which is noted was higher than both Origins and Odyssey. Okay, we continue on here. According to further data seen by VGC, Shadows delivered the second highest day one sales revenue in the franchise history, behind only Valhalla. Notably, it did so launching in March, when other series entries arrived during the more lucrative Thanksgiving season, okay, and did not benefit from the pandemic boost enjoyed by Valhalla. So that's key, right? That tells you a lot right there. Shadows marked Ubisoft's best ever day one launch on PlayStation Digital Store and was the most wish-listed Ubisoft game of all time, and generated over 11 million hours watched on Twitch, the strongest start for any recent Ubisoft title, including Valhalla. Man, I'm gonna have to make my way over to Twitch. 11 million? Sheesh. Okay. Significantly, PC represented around 27% of total activations, which likely encompasses full sales and subscriptions downloads via Ubisoft Plus, with Steam playing a significant role in that performance. Assassin's Creed Shadows is the first major Ubisoft game to release day one on Steam since 2019. Previously, the publisher prioritized its own digital store as well as the Epic Game Store at launch. Assassin's Creed Shadows has faced numerous setbacks and issues over the course of its development, including content leaks. Originally planned for the release last November, Assassin's Creed was delayed until February 14 and then delayed again to March 20th. Continuing on here, Shadows also arrives during a pivotal moment for publisher Ubisoft. Following several underperforming releases and a worsening financial outlook, Ubisoft said in January it was taking decisive steps to reshape the company and actively exploring various strategic and capitalistic options to unlock the full value potential of its assets. It's claimed that Tencent and Ubisoft's founding Guillermo family are considering the creation of a new venture containing some Ubisoft assets, In VGC's Assassin's Creed Shadows review, we wrote, with excellent gameplay, a compelling narrative, and a massive, beautiful world to explore, it is so much better than many expected it to be. Even if it's not the game that saves Ubisoft, it did exactly what it needed to, bringing confidence back to one of the modern gaming's biggest and most troubled franchises. And that's the article right there. So, excuse me, real quick, right? Real quick. Getting back to their review, I 100% agree with it, right? It's excellent gameplay, compelling narrative, massive, beautiful world. You know, going against all the backlash, or all the fake, what you call it, boycotting that was going on, fake DEI, and you know, all that stuff that's going on right now in the gaming space. You know, it had everything going up against it, and the fact that this game came out and is doing these numbers is basically letting people know, and you should take notice. Like, stop listening to people when you see all this boycott. This, you know, the same thing we saw with Intergalactic, the same thing we're seeing with The Witcher 4. Like, stop letting these voices be so loud. Like, we should be able to shut that down immediately. You know, we shouldn't be able to, their voices should not go as far as to, you know, people feeling nervous about a release of a certain game due to the fact that you know, the woke people caught note of what's happening in the game, and now their voices are louder than actual people who play video games and don't care about none of that stuff. So, getting back to this, this is incredible news. You know, this is we're not talking about it saving Ubisoft, because we shouldn't be talking like that, right? We can't just put Ubisoft on the back of one single game to bring Ubisoft to back to its glory days. We got to take one game at a time. So this was a necessary step for Ubisoft, right? This is the game that we got, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let's go by that. And if we're going by that specific game, they did a phenomenal job. Now is, you know, we got to wait for the follow-up. What are they going to do after Assassin's Creed Shadows? But that's neither here or there. We got to wait for that to come out. The time right now is Shadows. Let's focus on this game and this game only. Is it a smash or not? Are you enjoying it or not? And the fact of the matter is that the game is a smash. I'm having a great time with it. You know, they did a phenomenal job with it. So shout outs to Ubisoft, right? So we're going to keep it moving, right? Let's talk about this right here. Because this right here, it is ridiculous. You understand what I'm saying? Absolutely disgusting at the same time. Because these people out here be talking nonsense. PC represented for around 27% of total activations. Okay? Which is telling you what? Consoles summed up for the rest of the total activations, which if we count it up, if we do the math, it's 73%. Because the 73 plus the 27 equals the 100%, right? So where's the other percentage? It's on console. And I ain't talking about Xbox. You know I ain't talking about Xbox, because nobody buys games over there. So you better understand that those 73%, the majority of it is coming from PlayStation, from a console, and the majority of them, I'm pretty sure, are playing it on the PS5 Pro, right? So, you know, because we were making a big deal about the Steam charts when the game came out, that it was only peaking at 40,000 concurrent player and things like that, and I'm like, what's going on? You know, the game is doing incredible. Like, you know, it's crossing over 2 million players. And we go to Steam, and it's like only 40,000 concurrent players. So it's like, what's going on? And the reality is that those players were coming from the console space. You know, notably, basically PlayStation, because we don't even count Xbox. So the majority of those gamers were coming from the PlayStation side. So just think about that, right? Again, these are numbers that these companies look at. So keep that in mind. We have yet to see the sales numbers, right? We don't know who's accounting for what and things like that. We're still waiting on the official numbers to be released, right? But this is just something that always like bugs me, right? It's like there's 132 million monthly active users on Steam. You understand? 132 million. And somehow the PC only represented 27%. It's crazy to me, bro. The amount of power that the PlayStation console holds, you know, and we got to give a shout out to PlayStation gamers, right? Because these people actually buy games. That's what's happening here. They're not holding on to their money like for dear life because they don't want to spend. They're not going with this whole narrative that we got going on in today's world. Oh, we don't pay for games. We got Game Pass. You know, trying to discredit people for actually purchasing a game. Like, if we care, nobody cares. If the game is good, we'll be more than happy to spend the $70 and pay for that game. We don't care. And it shows. So, you know, huge shout out to the PlayStation user base, you know, for, you know, spending the money on something that they love to do. This is a hobby, right? So if this is something that you enjoy and you have no issues with spending money on a game that you feel is worth paying for, then salute to you, and huge shout out to all of y'all out there, man. Keep doing what y'all gotta do and stop listening to all that noise. You know, all these broke people out here talking about we don't pay for games. You broke. That's all it is. That's just a fact. The fact of the matter is that your ass is broke, and point blank, period. Keep it moving. Just because you broke don't mean the rest of the world is broke. And the rest of the world don't got to think like you. So keep your broke ass over there on Game Pass and keep playing all those games that they decide to put on that subscription service. It's not games that you're deciding that you want on the service. It's games that Microsoft decides. Oh yeah, put that one on Game Pass. But yeah, but what about this one? Nah, we don't want that one on Game Pass. They just gonna have to deal with it. That's what you're dealing with over there. So good luck over there. Anyways, man, I was gonna get to another topic, but I didn't want to make this video way too long. I'm already over the time limit for this video. So I'm gonna leave this right here, right? Once again, I'm gonna leave all these articles in the description just in case y'all want to go ahead and take a look at that, right? But you know, huge props, huge shout outs to Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed, you know, the whole team over there that you know went against all odds. It's a huge success, and I'm enjoying it very, very much. So thank y'all out there. Thank y'all for those who've been supporting me, rocking with me since the beginning. I appreciate all of you out there. And with that being said, it is your boy, the gifted one here, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. I'm gone.